Casual Magic has been sponsored by Quiver, maker of the Quiver and Bolt deck cases and other fine deck holding accessories. Use the code CASUAL on their website for 10% off your order. This episode is also brought to you by Monopool, a fast-growing marketplace for Magic the Gathering that makes buying and selling cards easy. Their optimizer helps you get the best value when buying cards, and their team is focused on making it a great experience for buyers and sellers alike. You can also support Casual Magic directly by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/ShivamB. And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome to Casual Magic, the show where we talk about the fun side of Magic the Gathering. My name is Shivam, Bhatt, and Casual Magic is brought to you by Monopool and Quiver Time and my patrons at patreon.com/ShivamB. Today I'm hella stoked because even though the show is called Casual Magic and I talk about Commander and stuff all the time, I am the world's biggest Pro Tour fan, and I am real hyped to have Christoffer Larsen here, the winner of PT whatever the hell that's at Lorwyn Eclipsed. PT Lorwyn Eclipsed, who is just such a blast to watch on PT weekend. And I'm super hyped because I don't think I've ever gotten to talk to a Pro Tour winner so close to winning the Pro Tour, which is just awesome, man. Congratulations again. And thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome, man. Pleasure to be here.
Man, because the Pro Tour was on my birthday. So I was sitting there and so I got to normally I don't get to watch the Pro Tour because I'm at MagicCon and I'm always working at the event and the Pro Tour is on at the same time. And this time around there was no MagicCon associated with it. And so as my birthday gift, my wife was like, okay, you can go ahead and watch the Pro Tour on the big screen and just hang out and it'll be fine. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. So I got to sit and watch like the whole top 8 and just like relax and enjoy my birthday while watching this Pro Tour was so much fun. There were so many different standard decks compared to like the last few, which is like, oh look, it's Granny or it's Vivi or it's other red.
It's another Lessons Mirror for when it was.
It reminds me of. Do you remember there was that Pro Tour during the pandemic where it was all the stupid companion that adds 20 cards to your deck and blinks everything when it comes to the play?
Yeah.
The like
Yorion.
Yeah, Yorion. It was like all just infinite Yorion mirrors. And I'm like, this is the worst of all time. But like between you and Portalon playing like two just absolute delightful decks to watch, man. I was so hype. So yeah, man, congratulations. How does it feel to win the Pro Tour?
It feels surrealistic, to be honest. Also, back in the day, I played a lot of PTs in my life, and I've been on the side of the people cheering for my teammates winning like a couple of times. I've been fortunate enough for that. And normally I always go home Monday. And this time I had a plane an hour and 50 right after I hoisted the trophy, to be honest.
Oh, no.
So my trophy is actually in Seattle. I didn't bring it home.
Yeah, dude. I know Scott Larrabee really well, and I've seen a lot of the Pro Tour trophies over the years. And he's got this gigantic extra case for them because
he
they're
told
so
me.
big and fragile and try to drag it. Did you just not have time to bring it? Or
I just I had all my luggage and stuff like that was actually at the tournament behind, and one of the other Danes ordered an Uber like 15 minutes after.
Oh no.
And I just looked at a trophy and they're like, yeah, you can take it or we can just ship it to you. I'm like, I just left it where I picked it up because they told me like, we have this giant cage for it and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know how to deal with that. I'll leave it be for another day, to be honest.
Yeah, because that's the last thing you want, right? Like taking that giant Black Lotus with you and then coming back and it just powders when you get home.
I mean, I did joke about it with the team that are saying like, if I win that trophy, I'm just gonna sit with it the whole plane ride like this, straight off. And then like as the finals before the finals start, they're like, please be careful with the trophy because they put the case right next to it. It's like, please don't knock it over, guys, and everything. I wasn't allowed to pick it up until at a special moment. I wasn't like, you win, I picked it up. They're like, we have to do it this right and stuff like that. And please be careful.
Yeah, because like this Pro Tour trophy, which was this giant Black Lotus on these twisting kind of like stand or whatever, looked even more elaborate than like any World Championship trophy I've seen or any of the other earlier Magic trophies that they've had. It was ridiculous.
It looked nice, man.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
And my wife is like, at least it's not the worst she's seen, was her actual words. for when it was.
Oh my god. But yeah, man, you've been playing Magic for a very long time, haven't you? When did you start?
My first competitive tournament was Odyssey pre-release,
Oh
and I, s- I
geez.
s- I said competitive in the light in mind. My first back in the DCI register tournament was Odyssey pre-release.
My first DCI registered tournament was a sealed deck tournament at my local store for Ice Age. We got, or it was like, we got a starter deck and two boosters. I don't remember whether it was Ice Age or whether it was like revised or something. I know I had like Pirate Trip in my deck. Yeah, that was a long ass time ago.
It was a long time ago, but
How did you find the game?
one of my friends, when I like back in there, his mom had a strict rule about computers, so we were only allowed to play on our computer, and then we had to take a break. So at some point, she's like, "Now you can't play anymore," and he was just like, "Do you want to learn Magic?" I was like, "What is Magic?" And then he learned me Magic, and we started playing. And we have a local shop in Copenhagen called Faro Cigar, where we went there, played a little bit, and people at the club we went to started to play, and one thing led to another. I started playing more and more and more.
What's that? Was that around like Odyssey time or?
No, this is like I remember it in a different way. I played my first PT when I was 16 in Nagoya, the Rochester draft.
Oh,
And
geez.
this is probably 3 or 4 years before. I was probably 12 when I learned Magic.
I mean, I was 12 when I learned Magic too, so I understand. But man, going to Nagoya when you're like a teenager must have been crazy.
It was another two other Danes of me and myself called Rasmus Seabest and Lars Storm. Lars Storm is the Danish guy who was the captain for Thailand multiple years in a row at the World Cup.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
yeah, and Seabest was one of the other Danes like first to break through. And we were just there. And I remember at one day, like both me and Seabest was 16 and Lars has been like 20s. He was like, "Okay, we're going sightseeing." We're like, "We're gonna play Magic." He's like, we're gonna go see a temple.
Yeah.
You have no options." I was like, "All right, I guess we're gonna go see a temple."
Well, I mean, you're in Japan. When you didn't know when you were going to go back to Japan, right? You might as well.
I mean, I was also playing Magic and stuff like that. I didn't have more interest in not
That's
sitting
fair.
around at the low budget hotel we found where a lot of people were playing Magic already. And
Yes.
but we went to see some temples. It was nice.
Yeah. I always can think about that, like in the early days of the Pro Tour, when you still had like the junior series and the senior series, and young people from around the world are suddenly picked up and get to go. Like, you're going to go to Pretoria for a Pro Tour, or you're going to go to like Thailand or Japan or whatever, and it's just like you get the chance to go to a foreign country to play Magic, and you spend your whole time in this stupid hall and miss the whole country.
I
My
mean,
god.
we like what we like.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
The
look,
inside
dude,
of convention halls.
I definitely understand having having done this for a long time. Yeah, but oh my god, that's so sick though. Being able to, I mean, Rochester draft is incredibly difficult. I've tried it a few times, and it's like what keeping all of that in your head is so hard, and remembering what like the dude across from you picked, and then I don't know. It's like the most skill testing format
if you
ever.
play high level Roger draft, it's about another thing. It's about if you're a new guy sitting at a table with there's probably like one or two guys know what they're doing, and you take the card the guy to your right wanted. Instead of spending his 40 seconds about what card he's take, he's just gonna sit and stare at you, really like mean, and then like pick a card, drag it over to his table, and just like spend the next couple things just staring at you again.
Just being like super upset and tilted.
Yeah, and then he has to wait 25 minutes to like look at you and tell you, "What did you do there?" I'm like, "I took the best card," and he's like, "You ruined it all for me, myself, and the guy two seats down." I'm like, "Okay, I just wanted the rare card."
That's so good. Oh man, but like, yeah, dude, you've been on the Pro Tour for a long time, and you've been very consistent and showing up like year after year after year after year. And I guess you took a break for a few years right now, but like, what brought you to competitive Magic, or how did you get on the Pro Tour?
I got on the Pro Tour back in the back scene with PTQs, and like, what's that? I turned 25, so 11 years ago, I took a trip with some other Danes and the Swedish Joe Larsen. We played some PTs and stuff like that, and we took a longer trip. I top 8 at GP Miami, And the year before, we traveled to a random SCG con and stayed for 1 or 2 weeks with some other Danes. And there we met Todd Anderson and Brad Nelson randomly without knowing that they were semi SCG pros or whatever. At least I didn't know. And Jerry Thompson as well.
Yeah.
We hung out with them a bit, drafted at a hotel, but till we had to leave the other night, the night afterwards. And then in Miami, I sit to play a winner box, and suddenly Brad Nelson is sitting next to me. And he's like, "Hey, man, what are you guys doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna travel. Like, we're gonna go to like Boston and some other tournaments." Then there was like an M something pre-release at the middle trip, and we're gonna stay like 10 days in New York. And he's like, "New York, New York, come to Roanoke, Virginia." And I'm sitting there like, "Yeah, man, that's not gonna happen. We're not gonna skip New York and come to Roanoke, Virginia." Like me knowing not much about it. So, and he was like, "Talk to the other guys." And then like Bundy and Joel was like, "That sounds sick. Let's do that." I'm like, "All right, let's do that." So we end up saying like yes to coming to we go to New York for 3 days, and then we go first day to Roanoke, Virginia, with the Danes Thomas Ennevold and Michael Bundy and Joel Larsen and me. And he's like, "Todd Anderson has a house. You can stay there." This is what he said. And the year before, the last thing I said to Todd was something not nice, redneck. Let's be honest. It was my last words to him. So we come to Brad, and he's like, "All right, you're gonna stay the weekend at Todd's, and we'll figure it out. Like, we'll see if you can place you around." I guess Todd was like, "You had 4 orphan guys just saying you could stay at my place without asking me? Might be a lot." I mean, we're not the smallest guys in the world.
No, you're not.
So we arrive first day, and then like we go out drinking. And one of the reasons that I have been able to string along some of the best Magic teams is I'm really fun at night. I used to be really fun at night when I was going out. So we went out, and then morning after, Todd wakes up and he's just like, "You guys can stay forever." So we stayed 10 days at Todd Anderson's place, or whatever, it was like 9, and then we went to an SCG in actually
That's
in Richmond.
amazing. That's amazing.
Had a
man.
blast. It was a really, really fun week in Roanoke, Virginia.
That feels like the most Magic story, by the way. Just like meet a grinder, hang out, and like, "All right, you can crash my buddy's place, and then we're just gonna play Magic for a week." Oh, that sounds awesome. Like the dream.
Yes. Drink and draft.
But like, yeah, because one of the things that like one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you, and the reason I was really impressed is when you like I've watched the Pro Tour for years and years and years, and I know a lot of the people on it. And a lot of the times you'll watch people playing, and it's very emotionless, very just, like we're holding it in. We're very like rock solid, locked in, and quiet. And you just go up and you're hugging the guys, and you're super gregarious, and you're having a good time. And I'm like, see, that's the kind of Magic I want to play. That's like the people I want to play with. And it looked like you're just having a blast. And even at like the top table, it's just like, wow. Just being able to play relaxed Magic at like the literal Pro Tour finals might be one of the coolest things ever. Like, I mean, I was so impressed.
I will say that also I faced, beside Tony that I met for the first time at the tournament, and I lost to in the Swiss rounds. Pachi I was in Malaga 3 weeks ago, and I was supposed to play a pre-release with him. He dodged me and blamed. He had a deal with his girlfriend or something. So when I found out I was facing him in the quarters, I told him, "You can't dodge me now." Eduardo I've known for years. So not only did I get to play Magic at the highest level, I get to play against people that I also knew and would consider calling friends, actually.
That's awesome.
And I would respect that people sit down and do not want to play like, let's call it a casual kitchen game of Magic against me in the PT top 8. But it seemed like my opponents were fine with doing this, and I would love to have it like that. I want to play at the highest level, knowing that we both understand the game. There's a situation in one of the games where something happened, and the judge is like trying to clear, and I'm like, no, that's not what's happening. Like, I think one of my friends asked me, like, "Are you allowed to take back a land in the finals of a PT?" And I'm like, I mean, Tony was allowed to do anything. I know what he's doing. He showed me his cards.
Yeah,
he was playing hand open. It was for the camera, for me, for everyone. It was like, that's not something a lot of people would do in a PT finals, and I respect him a lot for that.
Yeah.
So if you have a relaxed like situation going on, like, you don't have to like do the whole like, oh, I don't think you're allowed to do that. We might be past that point where you're allowed to. I'm just like, dude, I know Magic, you know Magic. Let's play Magic. And if you want to do it like in a more like string setting, and we have to like really keep our emotions in, that we can also do that. I like it the other way. And this time it really got to me, and I got it a lot.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, it was so cool because like I love Eduardo Sajkalik. I think he's a really fascinating and fantastic player. And watching his match with you was just such a delight because you two are just very open and like just it seemed very chill, but also like the matches were great. Like all the Magic was so much fun to watch. And I was like, damn, this guys just look like they're having a great time. And I mean, at first, look, man, when I saw your deck, I was like, this seems miserable. Like, this seems like the most annoying deck on the planet. But all the games were so much fun to watch that I was like, all right, you know what? I think I'm going to try this one out because it seems goofy. How the hell did you guys come up with the Dimir Excruciator deck? Because that's so ridiculous.
I'm going to take about 0 credit for this. And I will take a lot of credit to try to not play the deck, actually. Have you ever watched the series Cheers?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bar. Have you ever seen the scene where Norm comes in and the whole bar goes, Norm!
Yes.
I arrived at the house. I was staying at Cosmos because of Richmond's condition. We were a little out late. We split up to 2 houses. One of the houses had all Spanish people and a Dane, and the other house had the rest. And due to the storm in the Midwest, I was delayed another day, like most people coming from Europe. So I arrived Monday morning, afternoon actually, and I'm going. I'm like, all right, guys. I just come in casually. Hey, guys, what are we playing? And especially six Spanish people just look at me like, demons. And I'm like, funny guys. Javier always try this deck. What are we playing? And they're like, demon. I'm like, there's no way we came to this. Also, there wasn't much talk. We have a Discord and wasn't much talk about it. And I go to Javier, who's like, all right, he's like, it's not me, but I think we're playing it. And I'm like, all right, let's try demons. And at this point, I gotta be honest, I'm a sheep. I will follow my leaders.
I mean, look, dude, if you've got guys on your team who are just going to be like, we ground this out and this is what you should be playing, you're like, who am I to argue? Like, whatever.
I have settled a long time ago that if I have people I believe in building my standard decks, it's Brad Nelson, Michael Majors, at this point, Javier.
Well, yeah.
In the new years. Back in the days, I also had Martin Müller to allow someone always laid out the groundwork and he perfected it. And when you have people like that on your team, beside all the other guys, and my team has multiple good deck builders. But if you have someone you trust, like Edie Cassis as well, built my deck for Amalia when I debated. It's just like, I don't need to go around like doing all this thing. Like, is this really why we're going to do it? I'll just settle for what some of the best people in the world who settles on the best 75 for exact tournaments, they find out. And they've been spot on for a while.
I mean, it's hard to beat the dude who's like a 2-time world champion when it comes to deck building. Like if Javier Dominguez comes up to you and says, hey, you should play this. I'm like, okay, you know what you're talking about.
He sure is, and multiple times. I'll give him that. It's incredible. Like he is one of the best fine-tuners out there. He needs his process. It's a lot of Spanish, but it works. It really does. At the last on Tuesday night, obviously staying with 6 Spanish guys, and they speak a lot of Spanish.
Yeah,
I used to live in Spain when I was like I turned 21 when I lived in Mallorca, so I know when they're talking shit about me. Obviously, but that's about it. And then I can order cerveza.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. I've lived in a lot of countries where people play Magic, and I lived in Japan for a while, and I tried to go and see if I could play Magic there. And like, I speak Japanese pretty well, but I don't speak Magic Japanese. And like, so it was when you're sitting there and you're like, okay, well, I can point to this and say like this, but when you're talking strategy, it gets lost, right? It's very hard. And the Spaniards speak I live in California. I speak Spanish. This is just the language we speak here. But sure. Spaniards speak very fast.
They do.
So it's like, I trust you.
It's fast and loud, and they do it.
Like, it's crazy. But I mean, did you because like it doesn't feel like you cruise through, but it feels like you had a really fun standard run. Did you like enjoy this deck? Had you tried it before, or did you just walk in and go like, well, I guess we'll figure this out?
I sat down and played a couple of rounds. Mostly when I testing, I am the wall, so you bounce off me. I played a lot of the decks against the demon deck. I played mono green, I played airbend and stuff like that. I like to be on the other side of the deck and see like how it feels to play against. And then I played a little bit of the demons deck. I will tell you, it wasn't many before I signed the deck on, but I played like at least 7 games of matches of demons.
Man.
But I played a bunch matches into the demons deck to see what's going on, and then I let my team to tell me. Also, I played the old demon decks, the fiasco demons. Even though he won the world championship with it, we read the metagame wrong.
That deck looks sick. I don't know. I was looking at this deck, and I remember the first time it came on camera and they showed it, and I'm like, I wonder what this does. And it's like, oh, I get you down to 6 cards, and I mill your last few cards, and then I win. I'm like, that seems so mean. It was like, what do you do? It's like when getting hit by a Jace ultimate in the old days, right? Like you're like, well, I hope you can win with those 7 cards because that's all you've got.
I hope your hand is good. Now it's your library.
Yeah, right.
We got a little lucky with the meta game this time around. The Elementals breakout deck was randomly a good matchup for the Demons deck.
Yeah.
At least the versions for Richmond was tuned very much against Cobb. So the fact that we played well into that deck was a fortunate happening for us, and obviously lucky.
So I want to ask about that finals match because I'd never seen Tony Portalton before, but I was like really impressed because he just seems like such a gentle dude and very pleasant to play against. But that game 4 might be one of the coolest games I've ever seen, where he was able to manage to win against you with like nothing in his deck.
Game 4 is I will tell you I played really, really well until the last turn where my brain went off for a second. Did
you watch it back? Did you watch the coverage back?
I have watched some of the coverage back. I can tell you what happened in that situation. My deceive was in my mind a distress. I drew the cards. I knew what the bottom 6 cards in my library. I can also say I had an Avarice laying there, so I didn't even need to worry about the land killing him because I knew I was going to kill him the turn after with him drawing another free. But in my mind, I had duress and I had the deceive, and I was like, "You're gone, dude."
Yeah.
So I passed the turn, and as I passed the turn, I was like, "Strange, why didn't I play this card? It's probably fine." And then he started looking like this. I'm like, no way.
Yeah. I mean, we were like, the audience in chat and everything were like, oh, it's over. There's no way. Where is this coming from? And like, he sat and tanked for so long. And then I was like, what are you talking about? Where did this come from? It was one of the greatest. I mean, like, then you like just clocked him for the next game, which was like expected. But I was like, man, in that situation, down that many games, if I had been there, I would have probably not in a million years been able to find a way out. And I was like, that is resiliency. I was really, really impressed.
He did that to me in this restaurant as well. He was in a can't win position and he killed me.
Oh my God.
So I was like, this is happening again. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that's wild though. But I mean, I was so stoked when you pulled it off because I was like, you just look so happy. It was so great. Oh man.
The only thing I regret about is not actually game 4. Is that I spoke about it in the finals interview for a little bit too long, where I would much rather have said other stuff, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would much rather have thanked my family.
That's fair.
I have a newborn, 4 months old at home, and my wife is alone with 2 kids. I would much rather have thanked her for the work she's been doing at home than I would have talked about that I messed up.
Yeah,
but that was all that was on my mind because
it was then, right?
Yeah, and I mulliganed game 6, and like I'm not a really spiritual or religious guy, but I believe in karma a lot in Magic. So I was like, all right, I did this to myself.
I mean, that's fair too, but it's just like when you're in that moment, it's hard to remember, which is why like when people win awards, they always bring a little card with like, this is the thing that I need to say, because you're just like, what am I thinking about? And the only thing you're thinking about is literally the thing that
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
happened, right? It's like, man, and leaving your kid behind to go to play like Magic in the worst snowstorm in modern American history or whatever is like, that's a tough call. And
I missed Worlds with 1 point after playing 2 PTs on the season, and I skipped Atlanta due to my wife being almost due for labor. So
yeah, I mean, that's fair.
yeah, I mean, it was not really a decision, but so I had already scheduled the Worlds trip actually, doing to that it had to be a little bit unlucky to me to not make it, and people kept telling me I was safe, so that was already in the books. So when I didn't qualify that, I took the time. I had the time off work. I took it on off, like I canceled the time off and I put it in for Richmond. So it was, but it was tough, mostly for her at home. We had
Yeah,
help,
I mean,
but still tough.
having 2 kids and one of them a newborn and then having to do it on your own is just, I mean, I have a son, so I know exactly what that's like. And
Yeah.
like, oh God, that's a rough one. But at least you were able to come home and say, like, look, it was at least worth something.
It was a lot of time, and it was heavily worth in a ways.
Oh man.
Most of my family don't play Magic and don't understand the game, and like my mom and my wife watched some of it. My wife wrote me after the semis, "I'm going to bed. Crush it."
Yeah, I mean, like they might not understand the game, but they understand what being a champion means, right? So it's like
They do.
that's sick. Gosh, I was like, I wanted to ask you so many questions, but like I'm trying to remember. Oh man. Oh yeah, you wanted to ask. You wanted to tell me about playing with Wizards players.
I mean, I remember back in the team and back in the days when when I first started playing Magic, I joined Genesis, Team Genesis, where Brad made with some of the Danes, and that had like both Michael Majors and the other guys, and we made like Team Revolution coming in, and then Watsy stole Majors for us.
Majors was very, very. I mean, he had a very good designer mind.
Well, I mean, he was made for doing that job, but he was platinum at that time, and I wish that like I told him back then that he's been stolen from me, and I blamed some of the Wizards employee for this. They stole a couple of the good guys.
Yeah,
it made the game better, but Majors was my boy.
I mean, Randy Bueller has been saying this for years and years and years. Like, look, dude, let me play competitive Magic. This is all I want to do. And whenever I talk to Wizards employees who used to be competitive players, one of the biggest things they're just like, they're always sad that they don't get to compete anymore or just like grind out or play like real hardcore Magic. I mean, getting Wizard to allow them to play in even things like pre-release and like random, unsanctioned type events was a big deal.
It is, but I can understand why when you make the game, you're not allowed to compete at the highest level. I can get that. But the thing is, I remember back then when Majors took the job like 8 or 9 years ago, he told me that he was platinum status back then. That if he ever quit the job, they would reinstate his status. And I talked to Majors. He's a good friend of mine, and I asked him, "So what are you doing? Are you coming back?" And he's like, "Nah." I'm like, you should get some invites. Like, we should have the Wizards employee who quit and had status. We should get them some invites and have them come back, because coming back to the PT is a lot of work. Like,
yeah,
back in the days, like you had the PTQs you could spike. Now you have to like qualify for an RC and then you have to go. Like they did that already. Like bring back Wizards invites to the PT.
And I want to bring back the Hall of Fame, man. Like give me like. All right. That would be super. Like that's one
Hall
of the
of
things.
Fame, Nationals. That's another talk. We want Nationals back. We have a European League coming up in 2 weeks, which is like the European Championship that someone made, which is great. But actual Nationals
is fun.
That was great.
I loved watching Nationals because I remember when I was unemployed in 2008 and I was coming back into Magic. World was held here in San Francisco, or in 2011. And so I went to World because I had nothing better to do. And it was during the Nationals and like the World Championship at the time. And I was hanging out and I'm drafting. And like, who do you think is drafting at Worlds on a Wednesday? It's like Team Finland or like, Team Japan or whatever. And it's just so much fun to see all these people who are like the best of their country holding their flags and happy to represent it. And it feels like the Olympics, it was just it was such a fun vibe. And watching like countrymen come together and like when you see all the Central Americans wearing their cool costumes and everything, it was awesome. I miss that kind of like camaraderie and vibe, and I don't know why they got rid of it. There's no reason to get rid of it. This is super cool.
I think they changed the settings like before, and then COVID hit, and
Yeah,
we're
well,
coming back
COVID
now.
changed a lot of things, right? So,
COVID hit a lot of things. Like I've been fortunate enough to both qualify for the World Cup, playing with team.
mm,
My team was not as random as like you have team where like some people made it. My team was my actual team. It was Martin Müller, Martin Dang, and me. And then like we had a Danish guy called Daniel Lin, who was great having with us. But it was funny to like that my actual pro team qualified, winning 2 of the World Magic Cups things, and we had a captain. We lost in the quarters to Thailand, but
yeah, I
it was a
remember
lot
that.
of fun.
Man, Martin Mueller and Martin Deng, those guys were so good. Like I haven't seen them in since I don't know since the last like modern since Splinter Twin. I guess I don't know. Did they just
Müller
stop
quit.
playing? Or?
No, Dang's still playing, but
Mm,
he's stopped. Like we haven't been able to travel and stuff like that. Müller stopped playing for a while. And
mm. And like the communities in Europe, like Denmark is small. Like you must know like every Danish player there is, right? Like or at least
I
the
I
high
used
level ones.
I used to know the higher level ones. After the last couple of years, like having
Kids and a family and a job.
kids and a family and stuff, like makes that I don't play as much.
Yeah.
I still have like contact with a big part of the group of higher levels up. So like the guys who used to be on the scene, like the new guys coming in, I'm not as much in contact with, but I'll pull contact with them because
Hmm.
Oscar Christensen is like working in the magic shop in Copenhagen and pulling a lot of work, making it seem traveling
Hmm.
the world.
How big of a scene? You know, I'm always like, I always look at like the European countries that are like super small, like Denmark and the Netherlands and like I don't know Czechoslovakia or whatever,
Sure.
and how big like it's wild to me that so many crazily top tier competitive players come from such a small community. And I guess you just like I remember Kai told me once, he's like, look, when everybody in the room is just better than you and you just grind against them, then you go outside. It's like Goku taking his clothes off and just crushing people. Um, do you think like the competition there is just so much like more concentrated and like higher level than other places?
I think we got lucky at some point in Denmark that we had a lot of players qualifying for the PT. At some point, we assembled a whole Danish team for the team series,
Mm.
where we finished in the top 8. Now, like I was in for the Friday Night Magic draft this Friday, and it was a snowstorm in Denmark, and there was still like I think we were 49 people actually for draft,
Oh, that's crazy.
and then they had mutton on the side, so like 60 people in the local stop, which I was like, that is a lot.
That's a
And
lot.
I know a lot of people who didn't come because of the snow and like coming in, but also the scene is just like if you have like some people that are willing to like sit around and do some work, which is not me at the moment, but other people checking in, you can get a pretty good scene going. And if you're a small country,
Hmm.
like when we had the good team, like we took some of the players in and we tried to make it to ourselves. We traveled a lot. We traveled to all the GPs. We were going to trips, and because going on a magic trip is like one of the best thing in the world.
Yeah. I mean, when I get to go to like Amsterdam or whatever Magic Cons and stuff, it's such a cool feeling, especially when you go to a country where you're just not expecting to be recognized, and somebody's like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy to finally meet you," or in this side of the world. I'm like, "This is so cool," and like just getting to play Magic with other people is always just the most fun. Um, but I'm curious about that because like you said, like when you were telling me about that trip to Roanoke and like spending a month or whatever in America, that seems like crazy a little bit, doesn't it? Like, how do you afford just being able to like how do you live the grinder lifestyle when you're living in Europe? Like in America, people used to come and be like, oh yeah, there's a GP in Omaha, and then I'm gonna go home for 2 days, and then they're gonna go to the GP in Raleigh and then the GP in New York or whatever. And like that is a little ridiculous, but it kind of doable. But when you're living in Denmark and you have to come to America for like 4 tournaments in a row, that seems really prohibitive.
It could be, but like you gotta remember Denmark is like hell expensive.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
And I know the whole world is expensive now, but like 10, 12 years ago, when we went to US, it was cheap for us.
Right, because the euro
Everything
used
was
to be like
cheaper,
twice as much as the dollar.
something like that. Yeah, and like when we went, like the portions in the US was so big. I'm a big guy, but even I understood that this is a lot of food on one side. And we got lucky enough that we had like places to stay. We met people.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're a lot of fun at night, which come us a long way. Um, and people just saved up. Like we won a little bit in the Magic tournaments, and
Yeah,
it
that's
wasn't
awesome.
much. And just like taking a vacation where you, if you don't spend much, like you have to stay at hotels obviously, and trying to find places to crash once in a while.
Mhm.
It's obviously expensive, but we got around, and it I think we ended up even or sometimes better.
I mean,
Sometimes
you also get to have really great life experience of just being able to go around and see the world and just play Magic and just like chill on that. Man, I miss those times. That was a good time. Um,
it
I
was.
I was in Sweden last summer and I wanted to go to Copenhagen from Stockholm. I was like, oh, it's only a couple hours away or something, but we didn't get a chance to. Otherwise, I was going to try to like make it out there just because, like, I don't know, playing Magic in the Nordic countries seems really fun. Um, but so I had a question for you that I've always wanted to know, which is you got into the top eight. Did you like? I know that I've heard that at the end of day two, you basically just go to sleep and you let your team kind of do the practicing for you. How did you prep for the top eight from coming out of the pro tour?
How I prepped? It's
Dude.
pretty easy. I went home and grinded arena boxes.
Like in the middle of the PT?
I mean, a box is a box.
I mean that fair, right? Like I get it.
I mean, like, do you know Frowny Table?
No.
He's one of the younger guys, Jacob Milch. I played against him in the like in the arena direct, and he played a little bit slow. So I messaged him to play fast, and he was like, "There's no way this is you." I'm like, "You need to speed it up. The time is boxes." Uh, he made a tweet about it, and he's like, "There's no way." I'm like, "Gotta show these Sumas that time is boxes. Gotta move on."
It's like, look, man, just I mean, I've got downtime between like it's not the top eight right now. We can just one day there's gonna be someone who's just grinding matches between matches in the top eight, and that is going to be incredibly funny to me. Like playing on
Many
your cell phone while you wait.
many times people go home, they have a nice meal. We had also Richmond was covered in snow and ice.
Yeah.
So I stayed with a couple of Danes and Salvato actually. Both the demons they was under the same roof. So we bought Thai, we went home, and then I sat down and we chilled. And one of the ways to chill is to play Magic.
Yes, that is true.
And I didn't really want to test the matchup. I could have for the quarters and for the semi quarters and the finals. My team did play some matches and gave me some strategies, which is nice.
But I guess
Uh,
at that point, like your deck does one thing and you're pretty comfortable with what it's gonna do. So
it is, and some also like if you're for the finals, I should probably had tested a little bit more. But then again, Denmark was in the finals of the European Championship in handball, so we sat at a cafe and watched that. Priorities.
handball.
I mean, handball,
Okay.
actual handball.
That's wild.
We're the reigning European, Olympic, and world champions. So
I mean, look, I am an Olympics fanboy, and so I watch every Olympic sport I possibly can. So yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of like Denmark bobsled teams and like
are you
speed
watching
skating.
the Winter Olympics now, or
Oh my god, I am
yeah?
watching the hell out of them. And did you know that one of the American figure skaters, Amber Glenn, is a Magic player?
I did not.
She like NBC did like a little clip about her, like, oh, she comes from this small town and learned how to figure skate, and she's got some weird hobby. And Amber is like in the middle of the video, pulls out like 4 packs of cards and one of her commander decks out of her pocket, and she's like, "Yeah, I just carry them around with me." And I'm like, "You're crazy."
That's nice.
I
That's a
loved it.
real winner trying to get down.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what, man? I respect it. If you're trying to grind games in Olympic Village in Milan and like, with your gold medal, like go ahead, let's go.
I mean, what's better to bet than a gold medal? That's
Oh.
a real flip a coin.
Just flip it or rip it with a gold medal. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. It's like playing money draft, except you're like, yeah, I'm gonna put on my team figure skating goal.
I mean, if that ain't a Sunday activity, I don't know what is.
Oh my god. So like, what do you think? Like, so I guess I'm gonna ask some dumb questions right now because like
Sure.
I don't want to ask you about like tell me about every pro tour you're playing. Who cares? It's fine. But it's more like, what kind of Magic do you like to play? Are you just do you enjoy playing like draft and standard, or do you like play like other weird formats like Dan or Commander or whatever?
I think if you ask my team, it's pretty easy that I enjoy drafting as much as possible.
Mm.
Um, I used to back in the days. I used to say Sunday at the PT was actually my day. Not just because of the top 8. I didn't never top 8 it back then, but because that was like I was hungover and I was drafting from sun up to sundown and then more.
That sounds like the best.
It was. I used to just like sit on the other side of Siggy for like a whole day or Ivan Flock, and then sometimes someone would poke me because I fell asleep because I might have been hungover too much. We just went to the side at like 10 and then we left when they kicked us out.
Oh my god. Man, Magic Cons now with Brian David Marshall making cocktails all over the place means you can drink and play Magic at the same time at the Magic Con, which is,
I mean, that's also sound delicious.
dude. I have played a lot of late night like chaos drafts and booze with him, and it's a good time. Chaos drafts.
I highly doubt anything else than it being a great time.
I mean, look, BDM, he's one of the best people to drink with. Let me tell you.
He do make some strong cocktails. It look like.
Yeah, dude. They punch you real hard.
It's actually funny. He talked about you have like the cooking shows like or Master Chefs.
Yeah.
When David Williams, one of the former like used to play Magic and stuff, he
Yeah.
won one.
He got really. He either won one or got really high. I think he won, right?
Or maybe he won or he came second or something.
Yeah, he was very high up there. I remember.
I remember close to after the show aired, Brian talked about making Master Chefs for Magic players. And I used to be a chef in the Navy.
Oh,
I'm
really?
educated chef, yeah, for many years.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
He was like, they were gonna do that for Magic, and I'm like, I'm down.
That would be so much
fixed
fun.
Ingredients, make a meal.
I mean, yesterday I saw a video where someone created a video called Magic Jutsu, where they were playing Magic against Raf Levy and then also doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in between rounds to see who is a better like Jiu-Jitsu versus like Magic player. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I don't know that I want to draft and then get my ass kicked by Raf Levy.
By Raf level? No, I understand that. Levy is one of the players on the tour I would not like to get into it with, to be honest. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my god! So wait, so you were in the Navy in Denmark?
Yeah.
Like in America, in the military, they play a lot of Magic. Is that true in the Danish military as well?
Not where I was, at least.
Oh,
I was in for 11 years as well. But
that's a long time.
And back when the last couple of years, someone started playing Commander actually. But on my crew, they weren't as much.
Oh, boo.
Yes, it was okay.
I mean,
there's a difference between playing highly competitive and sit around with people playing casual Commander. I enjoy both, and I play Commander with some of the guys at home and have like dad Commander. But there's also there would have been a skill gap at the Navy. I'll tell you that much.
That's fair, because I mean I know a lot of guys who are like on deep sea submarines in the U.S. Navy and stuff who are like, we got nothing else to do, so we bring our commander decks and just hang out and jam. And obviously Sheldon, because he was in the Air Force and the military for a long time, he made sure everybody he knew played a lot of Magic and just like spread it all over the place.
I mean, that makes all the sense, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, you know what, he's an evangelist, so it made a lot of sense. God, though, like, I had a thought. Oh yeah, like you just said you went to an FNM. Like, you're a Pro Tour winner. Is that weird to go walk into like your store afterwards and be like, hey guys?
No, the guy in charge of Magic is a good friend of mine. So I texted him if that I was going to come by, and he was like, can I make an announcement about it? I'm like, yeah, you're allowed to make an announcement. I want to come by to like thank the store and community and stuff like that. A lot of people watched the PT, and a lot of people said thanks. It was great.
That's awesome.
I don't normally go to FNMs because I don't have the time. This time around, I try to take it to. I don't want to say give back community because that's not it, but like.
But at least to acknowledge them, right?
Yeah, like it's go on there and like it's have a good time. I went 2-1 as well.
Man, I want to know who that one was, man. That guy must be like, I beat a PT winner. Let's go.
My boy who was in charge of the store, he beat me in round 3.
Okay, well, you know what?
At the
That's
finals.
poetic, though. That's awesome. Oh, man, dude. Thank you so much for coming on today. This has been so cool. And congratulations once again. I'm really I love watching competitive Magic, and I love it when I watch competitors who enjoy themselves. And it looked like you were having a great time. And I hope you continue to have a great time.
I mean, me too. It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. Are you going to be in Vegas?
I will, yeah, likely.
Cool.
I'll come in late, but I'll likely be in Vegas, yeah.
All right. Well, I will come by and say hello then. And folks, if you want to find me, you can find me at Shivam Bhatt on Blue Sky, or you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are sold, or on YouTube every Tuesday, thanks to my editor, Dan. And you can also hear me on Shivam, We Love Magic, or the Chronicles of Dragonlance podcast. And remember, my friends, it's not magic without the gathering, and we'll see you next time.